Sign up for my free daily newsletter, The Current, at getkim.com. So Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez,
power couple.
They have sent out their wedding invitations.
Oh, really?
It's going to happen this summer.
Are you going? Did you get the invite?
I haven't gotten mine yet.
No, there's still time.
Well, let me correct myself. I got save the date.
Did you really get a save the date? I was joking.
It's happening in Venice. And Oprah's going, Leonardo DiCaprio, Barbara Streisand, Kris Jenner.
Sure.
All other A-listers.
What do you think the wedding's going to cost?
Oh, God.
I mean, honestly.
Okay.
$15 million?
Okay, the support boat to the $500 million yacht is worth $200 million.
Oh, the support boat?
Yes. Okay. So I sent them a $100 Amazon gift card. I hope they get themselves something really nice.
He's just giving him his own money.
Couldn't that be funny? Here, this is from Cam.
That's actually, if anyone is going to the wedding, what a phenomenally funny gift to give them.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Just in the card, $100 Amazon gift card.
Don't even 100, just do 25.
Why bother?
He'll just chuck it over the side of the boat.
Well, and on that happy note, welcome. It's the Current podcast, because after all, the Current newsletter goes to over 650,000 people every single day. And I should have grabbed some of the notes, because I think his name was Steven. He said that my jokes are superior and that I should not pay attention to you.
Oh, Stephen Commando, your cousin. Oh, that's so nice that he's reading the newsletter and chiming in.
He's not my cousin. He's my friend.
Oh, same thing.
And if you're looking for the Kim Commando Show, that's now available as a podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Commando with a K. And we did something different this past week, and a lot of people are like saying, hey, what's going on? Well, the Kim Commando Show is a 3-hour tech adventure in infotainment. And so what we did is we separated the 3 hours. So now it's hour 1, 2, 3 in your podcast player. So if you can't consume all 3 hours at once, it's not 3 hours, because that 3 hours includes the commercials. Okay? And these are dot commercials. So each hour is really about 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's easy. It's an easy listen.
Oh, it's just like as if you're going to work.
Right, commute to work. And if you're only listening to the audio version of this podcast.
Oh, yes, you get to see how beautiful I am.
When we started the show today, she sat down. She's putting her microphone. She's like, how do I look? And before anyone could suck up an answer to her, she said, oh, I'm beautiful. It's fine. Because we do a video. We do a video version of this over on YouTube, youtube.com/commando. Every Monday and Friday when we post the video version of the
Kim
podcast.
Commando. YouTube.com/Kim Commando.
Kim Commando.
I don't know where Commando might go, so I'm just worried about that.
It's true. Okay. Come over, like, comment, follow. If you follow and you subscribe, then it doesn't matter what it's called. You could screw it up just like I can, because you're be subscribed, so you'll get the notifications when we go live, post new videos, post new clips, and everything like that.
He's only worked here 20 years. He still can't get the name right.
No, I was too busy worried about how beautiful you were, distracted by your good looks.
I know. It's hard.
It is.
It must be so incredibly difficult.
We try, though. But
for you to be you.
We push through. We somehow make it happen.
It happens when your name's on the building.
It does happen. Everyone thinks you're gorgeous when you're the boss.
And so I'm giving away an iPhone 16 Pro, a $999 value. Win from Kim.com.
You got to be close to be giving that away, right?
Well, what happens when we're moving servers?
What does that mean?
Well, because, we have the entries going on one place and on the other place. And so Charles and John comes in and he says, can we just extend a few weeks? I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
You could have just said, yeah. We didn't need all that information. You could have just said, yeah, it is going to be soon.
It is going to be soon.
When did we get the new logo? I like the new logo.
It looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes.
That's really good. You know what that logo is? It's current.
Oh.
That logo is very current. I like it.
He worked hard on that. Speaking of weddings, here's a little tech tip.
Okay. Is
that what you want to do is create one email address that you guys share. Because then, like, for example, when you're signing in for Netflix, it's like, is that under my account or is that under your account?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're paying bills, it's like, is that under our account or your account or my account? And see, yesterday I was sitting with Barry because we got this really neat little gadget. It's called a Plaud, Plaud. Now, I'm not 100% endorsing this yet because so far I'm not impressed on how it works in the installation and also the instructions on how to use it. I said to Barry, just pull it up on your phone. And then he pulls it up and goes, I lost all the steps. I'm like, what happened?
What is it? What does the Plaud do?
So he handed me his phone and the instruction file was editable, and so he wiped out all this stuff.
Only Barry.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how this only happens to you.
99. I'm sure they were sitting around at a board meeting when they came up with this idea. Well, what if someone actually deletes all the instructions? That'll never happen. Push it through.
Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. It's a friend of ours was showing it. Is that you put it on the back of your phone, and
Okay.
it looks like a battery backup.
Okay.
But there's a card that slips into the little pocket. Okay, and the card will record conversations all around you, and then send it to the cloud, and then transcribe the conversations, so that this way you have a written transcript of the entire conversation.
Is it always recording?
No, you have to hit the button. It vibrates once.
Okay.
And see, what happened was is that we were at dinner, and the guy was holding up his phone. And I want to say his name because I know he listens to the podcast, so you know who you are. And I said to him, because I'm so demure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very delicate.
Yes.
I'm sure you sensitively, like a little baby, you took this conversation and cradled it.
I looked at him and I said, "What's that red light?" And he said, his face turned all red.
Right.
And he said, "Oh, I wanted to show you." Mm-hmm.
So you think he was secretly recording the
I
conversation?
think he was trying to pull a little something, something.
Now, was he holding the phone like this?
No, it's just like he was like texting.
Oh.
And then I saw the red light. And then he went to tell me about how great it was because he's in sales. And that he gets full conversations, and then he can transcribe it, and he gets notes, and it gives you action plans and all this other stuff. So Barry thought like this would be a great thing. So he buys it. It's like $150, and then it's $250 a year, which, by the way, is a total scam.
Sure, absolutely.
Total scam. And because I'm like, Barry, you could have gone for $79 a year. You got the unlimited plan.
Barry's just gonna be recording a conversation. Here, Kim, come talk to me so I can record it.
Yes. So anyway, I wouldn't buy it.
Nope. Wait a minute. You just said it was a great device.
Well, I think it's a great device, but it's not ready for prime time.
Okay.
I think, and in this, and you have to go by your state laws. In Arizona, only one person needs to know you're recording.
Right. So, but there's other places where it has to be both.
Exactly. And it will record phone calls as well. And so
the live phone call that's happening on the cell phone it's connected to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Barry does a lot of our legal work.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought, well, this would be great for him because this way he has a full transcript of what the lawyers say at, $500,000 an hour.
Right.
Okay.
And then you can put that into ChatGPT and have it.
Yes. And so when I come home and say, "So what did John say?" And Barry's like, "Well, I'm not really sure." No, he doesn't talk like that. But anyway,
he sounds much stupider.
He does. He does. But back to the email address. It's kind of like a joint checking account because you share everything. What are you looking at me like that for?
I'm wondering what joint checking account joke is coming up next.
There isn't. A friend of mine sent me her wedding photos.
Did she?
Yes. And I couldn't open any of them because sometimes I have trouble with emotional attachments.
That's funny.
Okay, that was a good one.
I like it.
Missing out on a show that everyone's talking about is not an option for me. I'm constantly signing up for this streaming service or that one, and then months later, I realize I'm still paying for the service. You know when you sign up for something, forget about it until after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month? Getting Rocket Money was a game changer for me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. They have over 5 million users and have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. Rocketmoney.com/Kim. Check it out right now. rocketmoney.com/Kim.
Okay. Can we move on?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I have the most adorable 10-week-old puppy in my house. I have trouble leaving.
What's the name?
Bella. Here,
Bella.
Look at Bella.
Let me see
Bella
Bella.
is Look
She's
at her.
adorable.
She's just.
That's all we get?
That's it.
A 4-second clip with
If you
music
want
that if we put on
more-
YouTube, we're going to get them
Well, we're going to have to
unmonetized?
take the music off. Okay. Because we don't want that. But no, she's adorable. And she's smart.
Does she have an Instagram?
Not yet. I have to get her one. I should get her one. She's so smart. And I've never had a puppy this smart.
Are you listening, Abby? Are you listening?
Abby, you were not this smart.
Mommy's about to run you down.
Okay. So Bella and did I tell you about Bella and Abby and the rawhide? Okay. So Abby has been the only child
Mhm.
for 6 years. And the first week she was not liking this Bella at all. And then she figured out like, oh, we could maybe be friends.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay. So they start playing with each other and play with each other. And Bella comes from a breeder with 3 adult golden retrievers. And of course the litter. So,
Mhm.
and all of them just kind of like free roamed. And so she's pretty socialized,
Mhm.
Bella's. And so they were at my feet in the kitchen. I was making dinner the other night. And I thought, I got to get these dogs out of the kitchen. Because I'm afraid I'm going to step on
Sure,
them.
especially a puppy.
Yeah, I am. Because she's right at your feet all the time. So I give them both a rawhide. And natural, by the way, because we don't want anybody to send me anything like, oh, God, you're giving them pig's ears. No, I'm not. Okay, just natural rawhide. And Bella goes off into the living room, and Abby follows her and goes off to the living room. And then I kind of like peek around the corner just to see what was going on. And at that precise moment, I see Bella drop her rawhide, run over to Abby, nip her in the ear, grab the rawhide out of Abby's mouth, and run. And then Abby, like, jump. And then on this little puppy, like takes her muzzle and and puts it on Bella's neck, like, don't ever do that again.
Did she give it back the rawhide?
Okay. And no, she dropped it.
Okay.
Okay. And then Bella runs off and she's like,
Sure.
she got her feelings hurt.
Sure.
And I want to make sure Bella.
Mom!
Yes, exactly. I scoop her up. And then Barry comes around like, what's going on? And I told them the whole story. And so Barry's sitting there and he's telling Abby, you got to be gentle. And, and I was like, it was Bella's fault.
Right.
You know.
She bet the dog.
Okay, right. And then Bella is like looking at us. And then she comes over, she picks up the rawhide and then she drops it right in front of Abby.
Aww.
And then walks away. And I'm like, oh, she's so sweet.
That is sweet.
So now they're playing.
Mhm.
And I'm saying like, oh no, this is getting too rough. I mean, I thought the play was too rough.
Okay.
And Barry's like, no, these are dogs being dogs and teaching each other how to be a dog and stuff like that. So I opened up ChatGPT on my phone, fired up the video, and I said, ChatGPT, look at this and tell me if my dogs are playing rough. And it came back and said, from what I see, the older dog is actually teaching the young. Like a whole analysis.
How does it even know?
It does know. It does. It knows. So I'm saying that I think, if you're not using the video, did I tell you about Carrie's truck?
Yes.
Okay. You really ought to
Well,
start-
retell that story if someone hasn't heard it.
Okay, so Carrie comes up, and Carrie's my friend
Mhm.
here in the studios. And he's like, oh, my truck's leaking something. And I'm like, oh, man, really? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, so we go down in the truck, and I fire up ChatGPT with the video. And I said, tell me what's wrong with the truck. I think something's leaking. And so, like the little guy in chat says, move to the left, move to the right, whatever it may be. And then he comes back and he says, I see some moisture by the radiator. And then sure enough, Carrie comes back next couple of days. Yeah, my radiator is leaking.
Now that's concrete, right? It looks at what a truck is made of. It looks at the diagram, knows where the radio is. How does it know animal behavior?
It does know because it sucked in every piece of knowledge known to mankind.
That's nuts.
So now Google's AI assistant Gemini can use your camera in real time. So you can point it at, say, a dying houseplant.
Mm-hmm.
You can point it at a co-host.
What is this?
And why is he here? And ask it questions.
Oh, well,
You should try it.
I am. Well, you got to pay for it, though, right? You have to have the pay version of that.
Oh, come on.
I'm just asking.
You're look at all the money you're making.
It's not about money. It's about clarification for people who are listening.
$20 a month.
Yes, this is part of the subscription base.
I think you can afford it.
It's not about the money. It's about the information, Kim.
I'm always looking for ways to keep you safe on your devices. Did you know that there's malware out there that records every single thing that you type? It's called a keylogger, and it's one of the sneakiest ways that hackers steal passwords, credit card numbers, and private info. Scary, right? That's where Endpoint Lock comes in. Think of it like a secret vault for your keyboard. It encrypts or scrambles every keystroke that you type. Even if a hacker is trying to spy on you, all they'll see is uncrackable gibberish. It works quietly in the background on your devices, protecting you every time you log into your bank, shop online, or send a private email. Keyloggers are more common than you might think, but with Endpoint Lock, they don't stand a chance. Go to endpointlock.com/Kim. They're offering an exclusive deal just for my listeners. Get 10% off a monthly or yearly subscription using code KIM10. That's endpointlock.com/Kim using code KIM10 for 10% off a monthly or a yearly plan. Endpointlock.com/Kim. Endpointlock.com/Kim.
So 23andMe, remember that company was worth like $3.4 billion?
Yeah.
Well, they filed for bankruptcy today.
Oh, man. Yeah, I read this story actually this morning. They can't even get someone to make a $50 million bid on the company. And it used to be worth, what, $6 billion?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something. I thought it was like 3 and 4, but it could be 6. Who knows? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's not worth it now.
No. So if you still have your DNA over there,
well, they are going to sell it, right?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
For years and years and years. And people send me notes. They were, Kim Comando, you don't know what you're talking about. They're safe. Everything's going to be good.
This morning, my co-host on KC, I host a morning show on KC here in Phoenix, and we were talking about this, and she's like, I knew it. Someone gifted me that stupid thing for a gift, and I never sent it in because I knew they were going to sell all my information.
Yep. And so what you want to do is go to, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Profile.
Yes.
Settings.
Pretty easy.
23andMe data.
Okay.
View.
Yep.
Delete data.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. We have the steps inside the current newsletter.
Is it really going to be deleted, though?
No, they've already sold it.
Okay.
I mean, but if you want to feel like you're doing something, and it may be something that you might want to do. NVIDIA's CEO, that's the big guy who makes all the chips
Yep.
and all the AI, humanoid robots will be here 24/7 within 5 years.
Where's here? Are we talking about on the floors of big warehouses and companies?
Yes.
Or in our houses?
Well, you could have one in your house if you're willing to pay. It's gonna the first ones are gonna be about $100,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Just to not wash the dishes.
and to do the laundry.
Right.
I don't know. I've been picking up a lot of puppy poop.
Would you spend $100,000 for a robot in your house?
Will it pick up Barry's underwear?
Here's what I'll tell you. It's it'll be a learning curve.
Yes.
But there will be a point where whatever chores you train it to do, it will do.
Exactly.
Would you spend that kind of money?
No, that's a lot of money.
25,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the price point where it's got to get down.
And I think probably 10,000.
Well, that's where we're going to get. We're going to get to a point where it's like buying a new TV.
I mean, we spent $2,500 for that Amazon robot that would go around the house.
Yeah, that thing was dumb.
It was stupid.
It did nothing.
It did.
Except for make you cry when the updates died.
Sad because he was right there, and then it was like, it was there, and then it was gone.
It's a computer.
I know.
When you trade in your phone, you don't get emotional.
Oh God, there goes my new iPhone. Old iPhone.
I miss you so much, Appley.
One of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff that you buy all the time. Whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries, the Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Personally, I love using Upside to get cash back when I go out to eat and try new restaurants. With Upside, cashback is always just right around the corner. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's right, the free Upside app. Download it and use promo code KIMK. Get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. The free Upside app. Promo code KIMK.
So Netflix, I thought this would be good for you because you have that artistic talent.
Okay.
The acting bug.
To be or not to be.
And I don't have that.
No?
No.
Oh, you're a performer. Give yourself a little credit.
Don't make me cry.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Netflix is now casting for a competition series inspired by Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's fabulous.
They're calling it the Golden Ticket.
Can I? So I have a friend who, I don't know how much I can say, but they recently got back from another country where they filmed season 2 of a reality show that they were a contestant in.
Oh, really?
Yes. You know him. You know him. And it's his wife that was on the show.
I do know him?
Yes. He worked for you for a while.
Well, there's a lot of people working for me for a while.
TJ. Those are the initials.
TJ.
Oh my gosh, you don't remember Travis.
Oh,
Anyway.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Pulling a Travis.
Pulling a Travis, exactly.
Yes.
So I'm not going to name in the sense I've said his name. I'm not going to say the show. But she was on the show and she lasted however long she lasted. She said it was the worst experience of her life.
Why?
19 hours of standing and doing nothing, not able to talk to anyone while they film.
Really?
19 hours in a day.
Days, how many days did she do this?
I can't say because I can't, leak that kind of information.
Well, so they say contestants are going to face wild games and temptations in a futuristic dreamscape.
I love this.
You could be like, I wanted to be the purple girl.
The purple Veruca Salt?
Yes.
Yes.
Eat the blueberries.
Right. The schnozberries tastes like schnozberries.
See, look, you could do that.
I love that movie.
And so you can apply right now. I have to tell you, I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts.
Did you?
It was a rocky road.
So bad.
That was the best.
No, your first one was good. That was the setup was awful.
You know what? To everybody who's watching right now, I want to thank you for your support. It helps me get into this chair day after day because of the abuse that I endure.
Is this your audition for the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, I was trying. What do you think?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
And then I didn't hate it.
All right.
Fish doorbell.
I love the fish doorbell.
This is, I was scrolling my social media feed, and I believe the video I saw was from a professional wrestler. And he said, guess what, everybody? It's fish doorbell season.
In the Netherlands.
And I was like, huh? So I looked into it. Can we pull up the live feed right now, John? So what you're going to see here, and if you're just listening to the audio, and we'll explain it to you. But there is a website that has a live camera along a dam in the Netherlands. And there are fish on, obviously, a dam. What does a dam do? Keeps water on one side, keeps it away from the other.
Amster, dam.
And the fish on the side of the water that's dammed need to go past the dam to lay their eggs.
Right.
That's why there's a season for the fish doorbell. And what was happening is they were opening the gate of the dam at certain times every single day so that the fish could travel through. I guess fish are pretty smart because the predators were just waiting on the other side. They knew a fish was coming through, and it was a smorgasbord of pregnant fish on the other side of the dam. So they had to figure out a thing to do, and they decided to use technology. They put a live webcam on the bottom of the dam that shows what's happening. And it's really hard to see. And we're going to pull it up here in a second. But it's really hard to see. It's murky and it's like green and dark. But you can see the fish that come.
They're big fish.
Yes, there are lots of big fish. And there's eels and everything that go near this dam. And here it is right here, the fish doorbell. And when you're watching this live feed, if you were to see
It's dark there now.
a fish
Ooh, thought I
in
saw
that
one.
camera view, you hit the doorbell. And the doorbell sends a signal to the operators of the dam and tells them to open the hatch so that the fish can then swim through.
Isn't that crazy?
And then they close it. And it's not a timed thing, so the predators don't know when and where a fish is going to be crossing. It's the internet's fish doorbell.
I love that.
Now, I found this out. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I had the same response. That's so neat. That's so cool. It's so boring. I sat there for at least 45 minutes.
See a fish?
Didn't see a thing. And me and 2,500 other people around the world are waiting for some fish to half swim by in darkness. It is boring.
Okay, but when you see a fish, the excitement.
How long do I have to wait?
Have you been to the Netherlands?
No.
Oh, I've been.
Thanks.
No, wish when you were talking. This is a typical Netherlands type of thing.
Is it now?
Yeah, I mean, when you so we were in Amsterdam,
Okay.
a couple of years ago, and of course everybody rides bikes in Amsterdam, and so I went down to the concierge. I said, "We'd like to go on a bike tour of Amsterdam, and can you get me somebody?" So he gets me somebody, to give us a whole bike tour,
Right.
and so we go through, of course, the red light district, and we go see all the monuments and go, ride bikes along the canals.
All the touristy stuff.
And it became evident within the first 3 or 4 minutes of this tour that he really did not like the United States,
Oh, interesting twist.
and would say things like, "Look at our streets. Look how clean they are, as compared to your streets that are filthy, dirty. And look at how clean our sky is, because we're here in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how clean the canal is. Not so in the United States." So we get to and we're like 45 minutes into this hour and a half tour. I'm getting kind of enough already.
Sure. Did you give him the $10 and say, here you go. Now make sure 70% of that goes to the government because
Yes.
we're in Amsterdam.
That's exactly true. That is. And so we're in this park, and the guy looks at me and Ian and says, "Look at how clean the park is. There are no needles in our parks like there are in your parks." And I said, and now I'm getting you know what?
Right. That's ridiculous.
I said, "I don't know. I said, I go to a lot of parks.
Right.
I don't see a lot of needles
No.
in parks." I said, "But tell me why there are no needles in your parks in Amsterdam." And he says, "Well, here's how it works in Amsterdam. The drug addicts are given free housing."
Sure.
Okay. And then he said, he pointed some. He said, these are probably 300 or 400 square feet, but they have their own individual units. It's just a bed and a sink and a little refrigerator, and they have community bathrooms and community. And I said, "Oh, well, that's nice." He said, and so back to the no needles. What happens with the drug addicts, whether they're hooked on cocaine, opioids, whatever it may be, meth, is that you can go to a special clinic and they give you 7 needles, one for each day.
You got it. If you're an addict, you're going to be doing it
Okay,
daily.
yes. Then so they give you the 7 needles. Now, in order to get the next batch of the 7 needles,
You got to bring them back.
you gotta bring them back. So
That's actually pretty smart, Netherlands.
So that's why there's no needles in the park.
I'm going to have to give them to him.
I have a bad fish joke. There's a boy standing on the corner selling fish. He was saying, "Damn fish for sale. Damn fish for sale." Do you know this one?
Mm-mm.
Okay. A preacher walks up and says, "Why are you calling them the damn fish?" He says, "Well, I caught them in the dam,
Sure.
so they're the damn fish." So the preacher brought some, took him home, and asked his wife to cook the damn fish. She looked at him in bewilderment, saying, "Honey, you're a preacher. You're not supposed to be talking like that." And he said, "I bought them for my kid. They're called the damn fish." And she said, "All right, I'll cook them." So dinner's ready. Everyone's sitting down. The preacher says to his son, "Son, pass me the damn fish." The son says, "That's the spirit, Dad. I want the effing potatoes."
I like that. That was cute.
All right. So I wrote about this in The Current.
Okay.
Because after all, this is the podcast. for
Makes
The Current.
sense. Yeah.
Do you know the name of a company called Publicis Group?
No, not familiar.
It's probably one of the biggest advertising agencies in the world.
Okay.
They released a video the other day about their core AI platform. And this is something that they're announcing that so if you want to target a particular consumer, that you would go to them and say, "This is who I want." And we're talking about big brands like United Airlines and Procter and Gamble. I mean, Kraft, Walmart. These are the companies that can afford.
And when
this
you're
type of
saying
thing.
target a consumer, a group of people, we want to target men 55 to
Now,
57.
this is why it's different.
Okay.
This is why it's different. Here, I'm going to play part. Now, he is French, and this is happening in Paris, and he talks like that. But I can understand. I think you can too. But he's
I know that's a lot of numbers and a lot of concepts. So to give you a concrete idea of how our connected identity truly gives our clients such a powerful competitive advantage, let's meet Lola. Hey, Lola. At a base level, we know who Lola is, what she watches, what she reads, and who she's living with. Through the power of connected identity, we also know who she follows on social media, what she buys, online and offline, where she buys, when she buys, and more importantly, why she buys. We know that Lola has 2 children and that her kids drinks a lot of premium juice. We can see that the price of the SKU she buys has been steadily rising on her local retailer shelves. We can also see that Lola's income has not been keeping pace with inflation. With Core AI, we can predict that Lola is at a high propensity to trade down to private label. So rather than continuing with messaging for our clients' premium brand to Lola, we immediately switch to promote the value brand in their portfolio. So now she sees refreshed content across all screens. Thanks to Core AI, we can do that with 91% of adults around
91% of adults around the world.
So that means they have all those personal data points on 91% of the people who are on the internet.
Okay, so this isn't just saying, I want to find a 40-year-old guy with 2 kids who has an income of 80,000. This is saying, find me people who will buy my juice within the next 10 days.
And the reason why is kind of the worrisome part. Why they think that I'm going to buy it is really in depth into who I am as a person.
Exactly.
That's the concerning part.
Yes.
Is that they're not saying, well, she's got 2 kids. Of course her kids drink juice. They're saying she has an economic problem and we're
Right.
going to solve that economic problem while still allowing her kids to eat juice.
Right.
That's really personal.
Yes. So whereby advertising is one to masses, the company to masses, now it's one to one.
And what's that going to cost? What is that going to cost a major label brand to market to one person?
I don't think it's gonna,
Cents?
yes, I am not talking. You're not talking $10. You're not talking $20.
No.
You're talking maybe 25, 30 cents.
But what they're going to do is they're going to take your product, and let's just use one of the ones you use, or just use the one from the example from the video, juice, and we're going to say, we're going to market to this person because it's cheaper. We're going to market to this person because they've never done juice. And they're going to have different reasons and different ways with AI to create and form the ad on all the screens. That's crazy.
91% of everybody on the internet, they have that data. They have more data.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you think that's innovate? Do you think, does that make you uncomfortable?
I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into the data that they have.
Okay.
Does Lola have any medical issues that won't let her drink orange juice because maybe she's a diabetic?
Mm-hmm.
And so she only buys the juice for the kids. And then is that information sold to insurance companies and medical outfits?
Mm-hmm.
And do we maybe Lola has champagne because they know everything that she buys? It's think about they have all these different data points, and then everybody who you follow on social media comments. Here's something that's interesting. Maddie, who works here, our show producer, she was showing me that she asked ChatGPT what political stance her mother was. And ChatGPT came back and said, "Oh, your mother's a Republican." Blah 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 blah.
Because it scraped the internet and found it.
It scraped a comment that her mother made on social media
How did you pinpoint it down to that one comment?
that Maddie did.
Oh, wow.
And by the way, her mother's not a Republican.
So it was wrong.
Right. Right. And so,
And it's just like the ChatGPT could have been wrong about your dogs.
that was right.
Okay.
No, but it could have been
Yeah,
wrong.
absolutely.
It could have been wrong. And then she also looked up her father because her father has a whole bunch of patents,
Mm-hmm.
and they had some of it right and some of it wrong. But anyway, my point being that let's go back to this video, that it's just, there is so much tracking.
Yeah, that's the bigger picture.
And, so the question is, how do you get rid of it? It's hard. I mean, companies like Experium and Axios and companies you've never heard of, they're the ones that are tracking all this stuff and then compiling it and then selling it to who knows who.
Right. Now,
Um,
is it a bad thing? Let's just, just the landscape of this video, it's not a bad thing that we're going to be marketing things we'd actually use.
No.
It's better than getting commercials for a bunch of stuff I would never buy or touch.
Yeah, but it's that whole creepy thing. I mean, I'm going hiking in Patagonia and I just thought about it. Has that ever happened to you? I notice that sometimes. And I think it's kind of weird. Like, I'll be thinking of something
Mm-hmm.
and it's like all of a sudden I see it. I see an ad for it. I see something.
You're thinking it.
But I think it's because of all the different data points that they have.
Mm-hmm.
They say, oh, if she all this is going on in her life, she's probably thinking
She's
about,
gearing up for this or
for
whatever.
this.
Yeah. That's pretty smart.
so it's going to be predictive behavior as well. So like, you lost all this weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you need a new wardrobe.
Right.
So you went out and you bought clothes. So you look like an adult.
Yep. And it was off of an ad.
Was it?
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to name the company that I'm using, but I saw the ad on my feed for this company to get new clothes mailed to you. Like they get a person to style for you or whatever. It's just an algorithm. It's not a person.
Yes, exactly. Oh, they say like,
Exactly.
Gracie's going to be picking.
Exactly.
You're like,
there is a name.
There's no Gracie.
I think it's Stacy. That's my
Yeah.
personal stylist. And they send you a box of clothes every single month. And if you like the stuff, you keep it. If you don't, you send it back. But that was 100% from an ad.
Yes. So is it bad?
I don't think so until, like you said, it gets to the point where you get your health insurance canceled because it saw that you went and bought a candy bar and you have diabetes. That's when it goes too far.
That's true. That's true. But we do that anyway. I years ago there was a person who I knew who was an alcoholic, and she needed a liver transplant, and they were like, "You need to stop drinking."
How did they know?
Because when she'd go in for tests, it was pretty obvious
Okay.
that she was doing a couple of handles a day,
Sure.
and so eventually she died.
But now they'll know months before you even go in to need the transplant
Yeah.
because of all these data points.
For you going in, putting in your little loyalty number. Oh yes, I need to get saved 50 cents.
You don't use the loyalty numbers?
I do,
I was going to say, you're super cheap.
but I am super cheap. I am. But you know what I use?
867-5309?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
And it's
The
like,
fuel points on 867-5309 on your area code has got to be in the thousands or
Phenomenal.
zero because everybody uses it when they go to the pump. Speaking of everybody's
Pumps.
not having any kids.
No.
Nobody's having kids. The world population is going down and they're trying to figure out why.
It's been going down for a while.
A long time. And it's not just here in the United States or in it's globally. People aren't having babies globally. I think there was one country in the story I read. There's like one country where they ask 4 questions and they get 4 yeses. Because these 4 questions are key indicators on whether or not you're going to have kids or not.
Okay.
There's only one country in the whole world where they get 4 yeses,
Yes.
which is not good.
What
Because we
country is it?
need, it's like Uzbekistan or something like that. I don't remember it. But we need people on the planet Earth. Otherwise, it's just going to be a big old rock spinning around the sun. And they're trying to figure out why. Economics, obviously, is one of the biggest factors, especially in Western culture in the United States, where people are still living with their parents longer. And if they're living with their parents longer, they're not, when they're younger, coupling up and building a family. And that's when you normally do. So then you get to the point where you're older and you're out on your own, but now you're 38 and you don't want to have kids when you're 38. So you just don't have any babies. But what they found is that younger people are spending more alone time. And it's hard to have babies when you're alone. And
At least for now.
most younger people surveyed either enjoy their alone time or they have more alone time than they've ever had before. So they dig deep into that. Why? Why are you alone? And they're pinning it back to our cell phones.
Oh, because we're having relationships that way, or it's our time.
It's everything, correct. Not only is it relationships, so you're not at the office anymore. You do all your meetings over Zoom. You're not going to sit next to Kathy in a meeting about the Q4 numbers, and then you guys touch elbows, and all of a sudden, 9 months later, you're making a baby. We're also doing there's so much entertainment at our fingertips.
That's true.
With TikTok and Netflix and Snapchat and Pornhub that we don't need. Not that we don't need, let me take that back, that we don't yearn and seek out physical interaction with people,
for sure.
which then again leads to making babies. So they're saying one of the biggest things that is factors for us not creating more humans is the fact that we're sitting on our phones all day, which is crazy if you think about it.
It is. Just wild times we live in.
Right.
It's just wild.
But the end of human existence could be because of a cell phone.
Well, that's why Elon Musk keeps having kids. He's on number 14.
He's doing his part. No. We're gonna give him kudos. He's definitely continuing to try to populate this
planet. So what do we have to do? Put our phones down?
We do. We have to. Well, first of all, we just have to start sending out the message that we need to start having babies, and we need to fix the economic status so that people are incentivized to have children in a positive way.
Yes.
Not a negative way with welfare and stuff like that, but to where you say, hey, we really want to have kids.
Well, that's what they do in Japan.
Actually, yeah, there's other parts of the country that do.
Free childcare and all that other stuff.
You want to incentivize the people that are on the fence saying, oh, we really can't afford it, that are going to be supportive, loving, build a family, exactly what we want. If you incentivize it financially, then they'll just go right through those barriers and they'll continue to do it, and we'll raise the population.
It reminds me of Mary.
Mary, you mean Jesus's mom?
No, a friend of mine. She's a devout Catholic.
Okay. I thought this was going to be a joke.
She had 15 children.
She did.
Her first husband died.
Oh, no.
She remarried. She had 15 more children.
That's 30.
Yes. And a few weeks after her second husband died, Mary died. And at Mary's funeral, the priest looked skyward and said, at last, they're finally together at last. And her sister was sitting in the front row. She said, excuse me, Father, but do you mean she and her first husband or she and her second husband?
Right.
He said, oh, my dear, God bless you. I mean her legs.
That's a good one. I like that.
All right. So don't forget to enter to win the brand new iPhone 16 Pro, because as soon as we remove servers,
it's over.
It's in the rules and conditions and terms and stuff. Go to winfromkim.com, and don't forget to like, comment, share. Anything else we need them to do?
Subscribe.
Yes. Hit that big old subscribe button. And thanks for being here. And don't forget to get the current. Go to getthecurrent.com. That's getthecurrent.com.